It was a very good thing that Luigi was contacted by an organization that ran dance conventions, possibly on weekends or maybe during the summer. There would be a dance convention. They would bring teachers, noted teachers from New York City, and travel, let's say, to Cleveland, let's say to Atlanta, or other big major cities. And they would have 2 or 3 day convention where the notes for the dance that you learned from Luigi, the album which went with his music for the style of exercising that he wanted to do, all right? And they always had a showing of the teachers at the end of the convention. Now, a lot of the conventions in this day and age are competitions where you don't really see the teachers perform.
They just judge you.
They bring their groups and they get judged, that kind of thing. So Luigi had an album and a technique manual that was started to be issued in 1961 and then 1964. He, for a period of 50 years, was asked by different dance conventions, hey, come and teach every year for 50 years. I think that's a record.
Right, for
I
sure.
really do.
Yeah.
And he sold his records. So my small town teachers and people that inspired to do some theatrical arts did buy the booklet
And so they were
buy the album. So they were doing their versions of what they thought that Luigi was doing.
right.
Yeah. Now it wasn't only me, but it was teachers that taught Susan Stroman, Jerry Mitchell, a lot of today's working full-time people. Their teachers themselves did not have to come to New York City and wander around and go from studio to studio. This idea of the convention really sparked across America more and more quality dance studios.
Right. I know how I came to know about Luigi was in college. I was a theater person, but we had to take PE, so I took dance classes, and I took ballet, and then I took like a modern or jazz. And the teacher told me, I don't remember her last name, but I remember her face, and I remember her first name. She said, if you're going to New York, and I know you are, you need to study with Luigi, because she had studied with Luigi. Now, she didn't totally teach his technique, because I think she probably didn't want to act like she was, but she said you need to. And then when I got here, and I was on my internship, and when I could go to class, I did, and I know you were in the first class. I know I saw you in the first class I was ever in. So,
wow.
But that's how I learned about him, and such an amazing human being. So I wanted to talk a little bit about him a little bit to lead into another question. So, Luigi was this gifted dancer. He had been in the war. He came back. He was studying and dancing. And he has a horrific car accident, which leaves him, people thought he'd never walk, he'd never do anything, paralyzed, partial paralyzation, his eyes, crossed, face. And he was like, no, I'm not going out like this. He said, I'm gonna dance. And I'm not, and so he got out and he started to teach himself a way to be able to stand and be able to move by using a ballet bar. And then he said, well, I'm gonna have to be able to use it and take the bar with me wherever I go. And then he started to start dancing and doing things, and people saw him and they put him in movies, and he would be on set figuring out how to keep his body, and so people could not tell that there was anything not going on right. And I read too that, I knew this about him, but he said he never sat around in between takes because he knew he had to keep his body in motion. And what happened is people saw all his co-dancers and like Gene Kelly and Bob Alt and all these people saw his work, and everybody started collectively doing his workouts and warm-ups with him, and then he, the rest is basically history because they told him, you should be teaching this technique. So, and he was in so many musical films, and so that's kind of to give them, the audience, a brief. And also, we have to say, Francis was here, not here in this building, the other building we were in, probably about 30 years ago with Luigi. You accompanied him for his interview with me, so which was amazing.
Yeah.
And he's just, like, if you ever want to feel good about yourself, period, even though, when I went to his class, I was like a larger person, and, there's all these major, everybody was beautiful to him. Everybody was precious. He looked at everyone. There's never an unkind word. Everybody had potential. Everybody was just, he was like a great big dad to everybody, or like that dream dad, if you know what I mean. Everybody has different kind of dads. But he truly just loved being able to have people move and learn about their body and feel good about who they were in whatever their frame or whatever. And the other part we're going to get into too is he helped so many people. He was like better than physical therapy, for so many people. Yeah. But I wanted to ask you, at what point in your study with Luigi did you feel like, I want to teach this is my mentor, and I want to be the person that carries some of this work out? There are other dancers that do teach his work that have studied with him for a long time, but like at what moment was like almost right away? I mean, because you were doing you still did, you choreograph other shows, but you were going on tour and doing stuff, but you'd be in there, boom, right in the front. But then eventually you'd start teaching. But what was it for you? Like, did you know, or did he
Primarily after I moved to New York City, I tried every dance studio and style that there was, because I really didn't know where
you fit?
Where I fit in. And having just a wonderful little taste of Luigi's work and everything back in my hometown, I just kept gravitating back to his school. And during that first year, I had realized that, hey, okay, I did this little off Broadway show, little thing. I did up in Monticello, New York, considered Forestburg Theater.
Oh, yeah, it's a well-known theater, yeah.
During all of that time of my first year, I finally just said to myself, Francis, you're dancing, but you're not really dancing. You don't know what you're doing. And that's a great question that you asked me, because it was definitely a year later where I said, I'm going to have to buckle down and really keep learning the simpler way and strengthening that and understanding this, that, and the other. Where is second position from? Second position from the military. Attention, at ease. So stuff like that, I had no idea.
Yeah,
I was doing it.
Yeah.
Right. So attention is really like first position.
And
second position, yeah, at ease, yeah. So there's so much history that I didn't know that I could learn, and I'm still learning.
Right. And so at that point, when did you sort of, I don't want to say, you probably studied other people's techniques too for a while, but
I did.
Exclusively sort of get in and begin to, because you actually started to demonstrate in class the things, because I remember when I was in there, a lot of times it'd be like, okay, Francis is going to do it, and he would do it, or both of you would do it, and maybe another woman. But when did you sort of know, like, that you would be sort of taking this work and, keeping the legacy kind of going, do you think?
Well, Anne Marie, when I saw how much heart and how much seriousness was in the work. And it wasn't that you had to go to boot camp and really sweat and all of this stuff. No, you had to just be centered and know how to move from your back and all of that stuff. And I saw that a lot of students were not that serious about it. They thought they knew what he was doing. Mm-hmm. And I took it upon myself to just keep absorbing what he was doing. He was a living example of how to pull the shoulders down,
right.
because he constantly had the shoulders down.
Right.
He wanted to feel better about himself. So
yeah, because he said if you press down, you're lifting up, and then
correct.
Also opposition, like to stretch your right hand, you have to pull back with your left.
Well, there's no real pulling back.
Well, not pulling, it's just the shift.
It's just the shifting.
The shifting is what
Animals, especially four legs, will do that naturally.
Right.
They don't come at you